Hello, my brothers and sisters. Today I'm going to share a dream that the Lord gave me, and this dream have three scenes. So the first scene is I was home getting ready to go to work, and my brother went outside because he was going to meet a girl, and he told me the shops are closed and they are not going to open today. And I was surprised because I was getting ready to go to work, and it was a normal day during the week. And I look at the clock and I notice that I was going to be late for work, but I thought there is no need to rush because I only had 15 minutes left before the time I must begin working. So I called work telling them I was going to be late, and I continue getting ready. Um, I was standing in front of the mirror when I noticed my hair in the front was turning gray. I was surprised, but I liked the way that it was turning gray, and it was curly. And I took gel to make the hair sleek, and to put a bit more in the bang that I had in front to make it more curly. And my mom was there, and she was telling me, "You don't need to use gel. It is okay the way it is." And I was like, "No, let me use gel so my hair will look nicer and more darker." Then the scene changed, and I was in a room with 5 or 6 men dressed in suits sitting on a couch. They were discussing about why my husband left the job in the church, and they were accusing me that it was my fault. And I stood up and I told them it was not my fault, it was your people's fault. The only thing I did is I show him that they were taking advantage of him because of his good heart. And then I stand in front of the priest and I told him, "You must be ashamed for what you are doing." And then the scene changed again. And then I was walking away, and I saw two brownish small frogs, and I pointed towards them, and one of them grabbed my pointing finger, and it didn't want to let go. It was like it was glue. His whole body was glued on my finger. So I was trying to remove it from my finger, and I was blocking my face with my left hand because I knew that some frogs can use the urine they can urine as a weapon to blind their prey when they feel threatened. And my sister was there, and she was telling me it don't want to let go. The frog don't want to let go. I was like, it must let go. And I tried different things until I was able to remove that frog from my finger, and that was the end of the dream. So I asked the Lord, what is this dream about, the general meaning of this whole dream, and he gave me Malachi 2 verse 1 and 2, and it is a warning to the priests who do not honor the name of the Lord. Then I asked the Lord, who do I represent in the first scene in this dream? And he gave me Ezekiel 25 verse 12 to 14, and it's the enemy of God's people. And then I asked him, why were the shops closed? He gave me Jeremiah 34 verse 21 till 22, and he says, because the Lord himself will deliver those who have been disobedient to him in the hands of their enemies. So that is the meaning of the shops being closed. And was that, what does the shop itself represent? He gave me Psalm 104:30, and it is the Spirit of the Lord. So And then I asked him, who does my brother represent? He gave me 1 King 8:53, and it says God's chosen people. So I asked him, are you telling me that when my brother told me that the shops were closed and they wouldn't open, that it was a warning from the Lord that he is about to send enemies upon, by his spirit, um, upon the people who are disobedient, the people who are disobedient to him? And his answer was yes, coming from Isaiah 43:14 and verse 15. And then I was, what is the meaning of me getting ready for work? He gave me Isaiah 52:5. Is that the mockery of God's people and blasphemy of God's holy name? And I was like, why didn't I worry when I saw I was late for work? He gave me Deuteronomy 15 verse 1 till 6, and it says, I didn't know nor understand that the end time was approaching to pay my debts. And then I was like, what is me calling work to tell them I was going to be late? He gave me Mark 8:14 till 21. It says, lack of understanding about what was going to happen, of what is going on. And then I asked him, what does the mirror represent? He gave me John 21:22 till 25 as rumor, false information, darkness. And I asked him, what does my hair represent? He gave me Ezekiel 30 verse 18, God's punishment upon the enemy of God's people. And I asked him, why did my hair turn gray? He gave me 2 Kings 3:10 till 20. It might seem as if there is no hope, but God will deliver the enemy in the hands of his people, and he will provide. So it will be a time that it look like there is no hope. There is no hope for the people, but God will deliver the enemy, those who oppose God's people, in the hands of his own people, And then I asked him, why did I like that my hair was turning gray, and using gel to make my hair more curly. What is the meaning of that? He gave me, let me see, he gave me Daniel 4:17, and it's because now I am part of God's holy people. So even though I was the enemy, when God sent his punishment by his spirit, I became part of God's people, because I gained the understanding of what is going on. Before, I didn't have the understanding. I didn't know what was going on. There was false rumors. I was in the wrong direction. I was out of the will of God. But when God sent his punishment, when he showed me what of when he poured out the punishment upon those who were enemy and out of the will of God, and the enemy of God's people, then I realized and became part of the holy people of God. And then I say, who does my mother represent in this dream? And he gave me Exodus 18:21, man and woman who fear the Lord, trustworthy men and women of God. And I said, why did I reject my mother's advice and wanted to use the gel anyway in my hair? And he gave me Luke 9:51 till 56. And it says that because in this way I was rejecting Jesus' ways anyways and opposed what the Lord was doing in my life. I wanted to do things on my own way. And what does the child represent? I asked, and he gave me Jeremiah 15:8, and something that will bring great and sudden destruction, something that brings those who rebel against God in anguish and terror. So God is telling us here with this part of the dream that those who are out of his will, those who are opposing his people, he will punish them. And even when he punished them and people come and repent and come be part of God's people. There are those who will still want to do things on their own way. They will still oppose and reject what God is trying to do in their lives. They want to do it their own way. And that in that moment things will go bad, because they will suffer the consequences of their rebellion that will only bring anguish and terror, and that will happen suddenly. And then I went to the second part of the dream, and I asked him who are the 5 to 6 men in suits. He gave me Matthew 10:40 to 41. He told me they are prophets. Then I asked him who am I representing in this part of the dream. He gave me Matthew 10:5 till 10. And he says Jesus' disciples. Then I asked him, does the couch have a meaning? And he gave me Lamentation 4:22, and it represents punishment. Then I asked him, does the room where we were sitting have a meaning? He gave me Mark 7:28, and the room represented God himself. And I asked him, why were they accusing me? He gave me Ezekiel 20:39 to 44, because they lost their offerings, money, and gifts. And then I asked him, who does my husband represent? He gave me Proverbs 31 till 6, a man without understanding, wisdom, and knowledge of God. And I asked, what is the meaning of standing to tell them that it's not my fault but their fault? He gave me Micah 4:13, confronting them with the truth and telling the truth to those who they were taking advantage of, to devote their ill gains to the Lord, their wealth to the Lord of all the earth. So that was happening in that moment when I confront them. I was taking what they were enjoying, the money, the gifts, they were receiving from those who were without understanding, without wisdom of God, those who they were leading astray, to be honest. And I asked him, what is me speaking direct to the priest, telling him that he should be ashamed of what he have done? What is the meaning of it? He gave me Isaiah 8:16 till 17, and it says that was a testimony of a warning. So in this part of the dream, the Lord is saying that the prophets who have taken advantage of the people without wisdom and understanding and knowledge of God will be confronted, will receive the punishment from the Lord. And those true disciples of Jesus will confront them with the truth and will remove, take away from them that ill gain that they had, and dedicate it to the Lord by enlightening and telling the people the truth. Those people will turn to God and give it to the one who truly deserve all the praise and what they were giving to the Lord, so it can be used in the right way for the right purposes in God's kingdom. So then I went to scene 3, and I asked him, what does the two brownish frog represent? He gave me Mark 7:28 and 29, and it represents demons. And I asked him, who am I here? He gave me Lamentation 1:1, the nation of Israel. And I asked him, does my pointing finger has a meaning? He gave me Luke 33 till 39, and it is accusation. And I asked him, why did the frog cling on my pointing finger? He gave me Matthew 11 till 15, and it's because Israel is a great nation chosen by God. And I asked him, me blocking my face with my left hand to protect my eyes, what does that represent? He gave me Proverbs 20 verse 3, sorry. And I was avoiding strife. And then I asked him, what does my sister represent in this dream? And he gave me Zechariah 3 verses 3 till 5, and he says, the angel of the Lord. And me, I asked him, me not giving up until I remove the frog from my finger, what does that represent? He gave me Isaiah 43:22 till 24, And is Israel doing things on their own strength without invoking the Lord? So in this dream, that is clearly that Israel is being oppressed by demons. It's a spirit of accusation. They are, because Israel is a nation that is chosen by God, but they are rebellious, and they are trying to please everybody, and the angel of the Lord is there, is telling them that what is happening with the demons, it will not go off. And instead of them calling upon the Lord, they want to do things on their own strength, and that is the problem. So this whole dream is a warning to all those who are walking in the wrong way and out of the will of God, especially the priest. And I asked the Lord if he wants to add anything to this dream, and he gave me Matthew 10:34 to 39, and I will read it, and it says, "Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to turn a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemy will be the members of his own household. Anyone who loves their father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Anyone who loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Whoever does not take up their cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds their life will lose it, and whoever loses their life for my sake will find it." So this is the message the Lord wanted me to bring, he gave me through this dream, that those who are prophets and are doing what is wrong will receive. A time of punishment is coming, and we need to start doing things according to God's will and stop trying to do things on our own. Invoke the Lord, seek the Lord's face, because the time of correction, the time of punishment is coming upon the world, upon those who are walking out of the will of God, those who are taking advantage of God's people, those who don't have a clear understanding of who God is. They will receive their punishment. Stop doing things and opposing the Lord. Just walk in His will. So this is the message the Lord wanted to bring. It is a warning. God bless you and have a wonderful day. Bye.